How's everyone doing today? Okay, thank you for coming, guys. One thing right off top real quick. So Crew Daniel and I decided to start hosting women-only sparring days in an effort to give these amazing women who train at our schools the opportunity to spar exclusively with other women. Now, it's hard enough to show up and train in a male-dominated martial art, but it's even harder to regularly spar with a room full of men. This is a chance to get some great rounds with other women and grow their skills significantly. So while doing this, I thought I'd ask these awesome ladies what it is about Muay Thai training that keeps them coming back, given the various gym environments they experience and the male-dominated mats that they often train on. Why did you start training Muay Thai?
I started training Muay Thai, COVID, kind of classic answer. Stuck in my room all the time. I was living in LA, so I needed something that I could do in a small space. So I started shadowboxing. Traveled a lot, took that with me, and then I went to Cambodia last year and saw a local Kung Mai fight and fell in love with it. I went to a training facility the next day, and the coach there was really supportive of me finding a long-term coach, just like made sense in my body. So I was gonna come to Denver for a month and reached out to Crew Danny here, started training with him, and decided to stay in Denver to train. Just fell in love with it.
Wait, sorry, before I answer, should I get personal about it?
Sure.
Personal's good? Okay. Yeah, I'm okay sharing. I did get involved in Muay Thai because I was in a not good relationship. How do I want to say this? He showed me Muay Thai actually, but the relationship was both very mentally, financially abusive, with threats of physical abuse that never quite elevated to that level, but the fact that it even escalated to a level that I thought I could be in danger made me realize I need to do something. I need to do something, and I need to know how to protect myself if and when this ever does happen, whether it's now or ever later on in my life. And I realized I was not in a shape to defend myself if I ever needed to. So I found Muay Thai, jumped into a gym, absolutely loved it, fell in love with it, and now it's more than self-defense. It's more than just me. I fight for my team, I compete, I help my teammates who are also preparing for fights prepare, train together. We do activities outside of the gym, and it's become my family in my whole life. Honestly, at this point, if I'm not at work, I'm at the gym or asleep. And honestly, it's saved my life too. I've struggled with depression and anxiety. When I'm in the gym, it's my happy place. It's where all thoughts go silent, and it's just been good for me both physically and mentally.
So I started training during the pandemic. I was feeling like I had just been trapped in the house for 2 years. I didn't really have a lot of community, and I wasn't into fitness as much as I had been before. I lived right near a Muay Thai gym in Boulder, and so I walked by it pretty much every day, and I decided it looked like people were having fun. When they left, it looked like a great group of people, so I signed up.
Why did you start training Muay Thai?
Oh man, I was looking for something to do, staying active, and I came across RMT, and there was a bunch of people that looked like me, and so I stuck around, and I fell in love with the practice.
It started off with lifting, and then I just kind of found myself in an MMA gym. I started backwards, so I started with MMA and then did kickboxing, Muay Thai, and then started adding to my boxing. So it was a little bit different and backwards for me, but Muay Thai is kind of where my heart went.
I chose Muay Thai for the fact that it's a great martial arts to be able to defend yourself. I work in a club that's filled with women, so I do highly encourage every woman to do some form of martial arts, mainly Muay Thai. I also chose Muay Thai because it's a great way to learn how to become more disciplined. I was struggling with addiction a couple of years back, so I would definitely say that getting into something like this saved my life.
What's the best part?
Best part is what I spoke to earlier when we were talking was I like the embodiment of a lot of things that I've been grappling with, like balancing elegance with power in Muay Thai. Since you have all 8 weapons, you have to stay light on your feet and very aware of where your body is in space while retaining that power. And I kind of like that navigation of flashing between the two, and then moving with conviction in like very deep uncertainty, I think is something that I've been navigating myself in personal ways, and this is a very like physical practice.
I think it's the versatility. How about just so many combinations of all the parts of our body that we can use at once.
What's the best part of the training?
That's a good question. Honestly, the community is really amazing. I have a really, really good group up at my gym at TMA Boulder, who's just been so encouraging. The like personal growth and development that I've seen from myself in the past couple of years has been like, even I've noticed it. I'm more confident. I am, when I walk into a room, I don't feel intimidated as much as I used to.
The best part is learning control and to relax or be comfortable, sabai. I think there's a huge difference between like kickboxing or boxing that I've experienced in the West compared to training in Thailand and continuing to train Muay Thai since I've been home. Just the respect, I think, that's shared among teammates or opponents is just really where it's at for me.
What is the best part of the training?
Cardio, sparring. I think it's fun to spar with different people. You can pick up something from everybody, regardless if they're new or if they've been here.
Obviously, there's a lot of physical benefits, but I like the mental benefits a little bit more. I'm a little bit happier, I'm a little bit nicer, and I have more patience all around in life. I don't get angry at minimal things just because I train and I get all the aggression out, and it just makes me a better person.
I think no matter how many times I show up, I'm pushing myself. I always find a new limit, find a new boundary, find a new thing that I can work on. It's endless. It's like I'm never gonna be done.
What's the hardest part of the training?
That I'm never gonna be done. That there's always something to learn, and I'm always being humbled, I guess, by the things that I've yet to master. So that's always tough, but it's part of the game.
Hardest part, I think, is just the comfort on the plateaus as you're learning. Like beginning, you come for a couple months and start really picking things up, and then you come to these different levels where you're kind of just coasting and there's no obvious breakthroughs. And that commitment and longevity to it of just being happy with showing up, I think is something to get used to. But so long as you're okay with the cardio and all, then that's a different thing.
I think the hardest part could be starting, because there's a lot of stuff that, at least for women, it's where there are more men around, and just start by yourself. Sometimes maybe you don't have friends around, and just with men underestimating you. I think that's the hardest part, and of course it's a hard sport like any other one, but yeah, I think it could be that one.
What's the hardest part of the Muay Thai training?
Conditioning. It is so hard to want to go and do hill sprints or a long run and then still go and hit pads for rounds and rounds or hit people for rounds and rounds on end. Conditioning is the hardest thing because that's definitely the one thing that you have to, no one else can make you do it but yourself.
Okay, let me think about this one. So hardest part about training for me right now is just sort of I have this really, really great group of people that I train with up at my gym. At the moment, I'm the only woman who trains in the competitive group. So that's been hard for me for the last few months. It's great. I love my whole family. I love the whole group. But sometimes it does feel, it's great to come here and do things like this where I get to work with women. I don't know, have a good time with them.
The hardest part of training is being injured. Yeah.
Definitely the cardio to keep up. It's not easy. Martial arts versus doing fitness, it's on a whole nother level.
Ego. you gotta really be able to check your ego. I'm a very alpha female, so that's something that I have had to work on. Again, all around making me a better person, because I'm very prideful, but there's a time and a place for it, and having to step aside your own ego really does change who you are as a person.
I mean, I've always had like a contentious relationship with cardio, and so the cardio component is never easy for me. Like, that's why it's always a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I started late in the game. I jumped into Muay Thai in my mid-20s, so going pro's not really on the agenda for me. So at this rate, I'm like, I just want to win a belt, maybe 2, maybe 3 belts, and just prove to myself that it's something I can do.
I think it's a lifetime goal. I think it's a way how to exercise my body, my mind while I'm enjoying. I would like to fight, but eventually I would like just to keep doing it.
I want to be inspiring to people.
To be honest, the goals never stop, because you can always get better. Just adding to my tool belt, really. Any tool that anyone is willing to teach me, I'm willing to try and add, make it my own. Everyone's different, so some things work for people that others don't. But yeah, just adding tools, and just, it's such an art, and it's so beautiful to be able to pull those tools out of your belt and apply them in sparring. It's just beautiful.
Are there any specific experiences you'd like to share as motivation or as a warning to women who start training Muay Thai?
I would say always listen to your body. I recently have been diagnosed with several hormone and thyroid issues. And, you know, I had to kind of take some time off of Muay Thai to figure out my health again so I could get in a good spot. You know, women typically do tend to struggle with more hormonal issues. And our bodies just don't work quite the same way. We can't necessarily take the same advice for like cutting or training or prepping for a fight that men can typically follow. So I would always say listen to your body, listen to what it needs, and yeah, just train hard.
Believe in yourself. I tend to doubt myself a lot, and I think that's where like fighting comes in, and just like putting yourself out there. It's really easy to doubt yourself and think that you're not ready, but until you do it, you'll never know. I think you'll regret not trying than actually getting in there and either failing or winning more than anything. So just do it. Believe in yourself. It's worth it no matter what happens.
Any advice or words of encouragement for people considering Muay Thai or martial arts?
Good question. So I would say that my biggest piece of advice is to do things in your own way, find your own power. Everybody sort of has different body types, has different ways that they move around, that they move their bodies in the world, which means that you're going to find your source of power and your source of strength from a different place than the other people that you're training with. And so, you know, really devote time to kind of play around, to try things your own way, try new things as you train, and yeah, you'll start to love it.
It's a way how to enjoy exercising. It's a way how to move all your body. So yeah, why not? It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, definitely just go for it and find a place that you're comfortable in. To be around people where it's very, very actively engaged, that you are there for one another, is the best thing to find.
I think, you know, take up space in whatever way that you can, and, you know, get in there. You have a right to learn and to improve and to get stronger just like anyone else. And, you know, just because there's not a lot of women maybe present in that space doesn't mean that you don't still have a right to take up space, you know?
I think every woman should be able to feel safe no matter where they are, and that's something that Muay Thai has given me. Even like I work downtown, I can go anywhere, and I'm confident in myself that I can keep myself safe in any situation, and just as a woman, just having that is huge.